So we're back into this vanilla gameplay tutorial, and in this episode I'm going to show you guys how I do my auto disciple work. So the first thing I do when I start the game is build a workstation so that I can create some more timber, because I'm just starting the game off and I'm on an area that has mainly wood and spiritwood. So I want to be able to make my buildings out of the timber, compared to if I was in canyon, then I would start with the stone working station, because you can use the stones from the canyon map to make some marble stone blocks or some jade stone blocks or some brownstone blocks and make items out of that, or stations out of that. So the first thing I'm going to do is create one timber station and one well. And then I need to unban this wood so that my disciples can use it. And then for the work schedule, I'm going to go through all of my disciples and just kind of have the best ones allowed for that. So for example, for healer right now, all of my guys have around like 10 healing, so that's fine. These two are the best ones at being a chef, so I'll have them right here. I really only need one person to do hunter work, so I'll just leave it as the best guy. Builder, this is the one that is the only one that can build, so I'll make sure that they have builder prioritized, which means that they will choose to do activities that are under the builder task, so instead of these other things first. Whereas if you don't have a priority, then they will just do these in order. So my builder and my farmer, and then I want everyone to be able to be a logger, just because I have a lot of timber to make. And then crafting, I would only want this one to be the crafter, because their crafting level is so high, so it's kind of no point of using the other two, except for maybe this cat. So this cat could help, but I just want the best materials that I can get. Then everyone does peon work, so I'll just go with 2 loggers, 1 crafter, 1 builder. But in general, I definitely want to have like more than 1 logger, because someone has to chop the wood and someone also has to make the timber. And then I want to have at least 1 builder and 1 crafter, because you just need those. And then for my work schedule, I'll change it so that they all just work and eat every 12 hours, because I'm going to be using amber fruit for the first few days. So amber fruit is this little plant that's around here. It's like it's like this right here. It has an orange glow if you're in the game, but as you can see, amber fruit will make it so that your disciples don't need to sleep and they don't need to eat. As you can see in the description, it says it prevents them from feeling hungry and exhausted. So I kind of just, and then it lasts for half a day, which is why I'll have them set up to work for half a day and then eat the amber fruit and then work some more for half a day, and then they would need to eat the amber fruit again so that they can continue. So the schedule should be something like this, where it's just like a 12-hour gap in between them working and eating, since they'll only be using the amber fruit. And you can harvest multiple ones just by like double clicking it, and then it would like select all the items in the area. That goes for anything. So like all these old boxes, once I double click it, I can see how many old boxes and how many decomposed bodies there are on my map. So as you can see, my disciple has already gathered up 12 amber fruits. So I'll start off by having these 4 guys eat it, and then they can also pick up 2 more. So I'll have them also equip the amber fruit, since they will pull it from their inventory when they're hungry. And then while I'm doing that, I also like to have, well, before I leave the sect, if I don't have no aggressive animals on, then I'll search a decomposed body, because these decomposed bodies will have weapons inside of them. And then once I get like a weapon, I'll use my inner disciple to kill all of the carnivores in the area, because the carnivores are the ones that will attack your disciples as they're doing their tasks around the map. So like this tiger, if I didn't have no aggressive animals on, then this tiger might be attacking this cat, and this mortal cat just can't beat a tiger or like a bear or a snake or something like that. It's just kind of hard because their battle is low, so that would create a lot of different complications. So I'll open a decomposed body, pick up a weapon, and then just kill all of those animals like manually. But I don't need to do that since I'm using the no aggressive animals mod. So for my Ender Disciple, as I just start the game off, I like to get the materials from the ruins of Taiyi, which is the hidden location, which you can unlock by going to Mount Fullmoon and then interacting with the Sect gate. And then once you get into the hidden ruins of Taiyi, then you can collect loads of like timber and marble. That area just has like a lot of those items that you would need. But in the meantime, while I don't have those building materials from the ruins of Taiyi, I'll just use the timber station for now just to make what I need, because I need to have a well and a water bot. So let's see how my disciples are going. And I also want them to have work hard so that they are consistently increasing their foundation training whenever they run out of tasks to do. And that's pretty much how you set up your outer disciples, just in terms of like making sure that they have all of their tasks allocated. And you also want your inner disciple to be going to Mount Fullmoon to unlock the ruins of Taiyi, because that's really important. So now my guys are creating some timber. So I'll use this timber to make some more timber stations. I like to have at least 2 timber stations because I make so much. Then I'll need a handcraft station. I also like to have at least 2 of these. And then those are all that I need right now, just for getting my Sect started out. And then as you can see right here on this map, I have like a lot of clutter. So with the leisure item Tic Tac Toe, you can actually clear things from the map. So this is a good way just to like clean up your Sect, and it will take some work from you. And then Tic Tac Toe can also be used for so many different reasons, but it's just a really useful item that you can use to do some quick cleanup on your Sect. So with that knowledge, I made a blueprint of a Tic Tac Toe blueprint. So it's just like a lot of Tic Tac Toe together. I don't want to destroy that Spiritwood, but for the most part, it's really good for cleaning up your Sect. You just gotta make sure you don't miss out on like the Spiritwood or the boxes that you might want to use. And I'm fine with losing some boxes since I'm on Ancient Battlefield. There's already so many boxes on this map, so I'm really just avoiding destroying the Spiritwood. Same with the decomposed bodies. I just have so many, so that's the benefit of Ancient Battlefield. Whereas if you were on like plains or forests, you definitely should be more safe with the boxes that you're removing, because there's not that many. But yeah, as you can see, my Sect is now like pretty clean. I do need to clean up a little bit more. I don't want to remove those. Okay, there we go. So yep, that's what I do. And then I'll also want to start creating some more timber axes, farming tools, and pickaxes for my Sect to use. And usually I'll make those out of either Spiritwood or Goldwood, because the better material you use, the better the tool will work. So if you use like a Spiritwood timber axe, then that will have more crafting speed than the timber crafting axe. Then the timber wood cutting axe. I don't know why I said crafting axe. That's so funny. As you can see, my cat is now creating the Spiritwood timber, and now I can create a timber axe. And I'll show you guys the difference between the two. And as you can see, my inner disciples bar right here is full. That means they've reached the campsite and have begun to collect resources. So right now, Mount Fullmoon has an output of herbs and wood, and my disciple hasn't been camping there for any seconds yet. However, once this reaches 120 seconds, they will collect either one of these. And sometimes if I like want to collect, I don't need herbs or wood right now, so I won't wait for the 120 seconds. But like if I didn't catch it as soon as it happened and my Disciple was on like 80 seconds, then I would probably just wait for the 20 seconds. So I'm at Fullmoon. It has some mortals, and then it also has some scripts. So the first thing you want to do is grab all of these scripts because they sell for pretty good money. So those are also pretty good to use. And then there's some other hidden scripts right here. If you press Alt, then you can see like items that are hidden behind walls, or you can just go to target and you can like just click around, and it has some good items. But I definitely would just take the scripts just to get some early game money like really quick, because you can sell them or trade them for the same amount of Spiritwood. And then besides that, they have mortals, so I'll also invite every mortal to my sect when I visit these areas. You kind of just have to talk to them until their favorite reaches 60, and then that will allow you to invite them to your sect. However, I'm using a mod called one click, which I can just use the one click and max out their favorite. So yeah, I'll just keep doing that. But like without one click, it's pretty easy to get them there. Like mortals, they will never not be able to be invited to your sect. It's just tedious. I don't know why my disciples only incremented by 1 point. But for the most part, if you have a sect leader, then they will visit. See, as you can see, that they will still visit my sect when I do it legitly. So I just like to invite all these immortals because I need to start filling up my sect with positions to like get more work done. Especially if you're playing on vanilla, like there's no reason to not have an army of outer disciples until you don't need them. And then when you don't need them, just kick them out of your sect and kill them. Or you can just kick them out the sect and not kill them, or assign them to agencies. So I'm just inviting everyone to my sect so that they can be my slaves. Where I can get some soul gems from them. Alright, now that I'm done with that, back to the sect. So I got the scripts, and I also unlocked the ruins of Taiyi by observing that gate, and then I also invited mortals to my sect so that I can do some more recruitment. So once you have the Spiritwood, you want to craft the timber axe. And now that I have the timber axe, I can show you guys the difference between an item with a better work speed coefficient. So I need to find out which disciple was cutting the wood. Okay, so outer one, right now, they have a cutting speed of 531%, or a cutting speed boost. So if I have them equip this Spiritwood axe, which is tier 5, instead of this timber axe, which is tier 1, and their cutting speed will change. See, that was at 1000%, and that's like way higher. So that's why you always want to make items out of higher material items than timber when you first start off. So then I'm going to show you guys what the work speed coefficient is. If you go into the wiki under the work speed coefficient page, right here is a list of the items that it will affect. So these are items that you care about the material that you want them to have, and then this right here is the table of materials and their work speed coefficient. So as you can see, Luminicore Bar has the fastest items, or the fastest tools. Parasol Timber also has the fastest tools, and Holy Stone. Like these are the really high tier ones. However, these items are pretty rare to get, and I wouldn't use them just on creating tools, and I would definitely like just save these up. So then for me, I'm more comfortable with using Dark Steel Bar, Spiritwood, and Goldwood, since these are items that I know that I can get pretty easily. So my items usually have a work speed coefficient of like 1.8 to 2s speed. Whereas if you just have items out of timber, they're actually slower than the regular work speed coefficient. So that's why I had that big jump. So yeah, when you first start the game, you want to chop down some Spiritwood and just have enough for your array, and you also want to have enough Spiritwood to create some tools, or Spiritwood timber, I mean, to create some tools. And then after that, all the spirit wood should be like for trading, because Sects will value your spirit wood pretty highly, so you can use that to trade them. So right now I just have timber being created, and I have spirit wood timber being created, and I have the disciple coming back. And I'm not really worried about my disciples' mood, even though they have bad moods right now. If the mood goes below 40, then they'll stop working, so that's the only time where it could be an issue for me. However, I do want to increase it, but because they have the amber fruit, they don't need to sleep, so I don't really need to worry about creating bids right now, because that's where the real issue comes from, is when they don't have bids and then they sleep on the floor. That's a really annoying mood, when they have like that one from sleeping on the floor. So that's all you need to really avoid. Ideally, I would be done using amber fruit around the same time that I create the bids. So then, once I have some timber, I'll just start to create like everything that I believe that I'll need for the rest of the gameplay. So I'm pretty comfortable with about 4 timber stations. Like I need at least 2, but like 4 or 5 is ideal, because if I have 4, then that means I can create 20 timber, assuming I have 4 disciples on it, so I can create 20 timber iteration, and then I have 1 for like creating other types of timber like Goldwood or Spiritwood timber. And then you obviously will need a medicine table to cure different ailments, and then 2 sewing tables. That's what I like to have. And I'm also comfortable with about like 2 looms, which can be used to make fabrics. And then I'll need a talisman table for creating talismans. So I like to have like 2 talisman tables for outer disciples, because I create secret talismans, and then sometimes I need to create other talismans. And then I'll have a talisman table for each inner disciple, because talisman tables are also leisure stations for inner disciples. So I'll just do like 4 to start off. And that's pretty much everything that I got made out of wood. And then obviously you will want a bonfire so that you can turn meat into dried meat and have some food for your disciples for when the amber fruit stops. So this is a cooking station, and a chef will just like bring meat over here and cook it. So it all depends on who you have assigned as chef. So either these 2, but they're crafting and logging right now as priority, so they'll probably not even get to that yet. I'm just going to clear out this some more. So as you can see, my inner disciple is almost back at the sect, because this bar is like getting low. So you also want to make sure you have a reward spot, which means the items that they pick up from different adventures, they'll just drop it down over here. Then I also want to check around for more Spiritwood trees, because those are really important to chop down. And I want to craft some more Spiritwood timber ashes. But first thing I want to do is actually make some more Spiritwood. So yeah, this one I have multiple timber stations. So I'll make 50, because I'm using up 10 Spiritwood to make Spiritwood timber. Okay, my disciple is back from their adventure, and they brought back some money from there. Now I will get building materials from the ruins of Taiyi. I'll show you guys what that looks like. The ruins of Taiyi is really good to get started building materials for the game, and it also pretty much just trivializes everything in terms of gathering materials. So I don't even need to like craft any. I also want to open up some boxes just to get some fabrics and other items. Now I just need to check if my disciples are on amber fruit. Nope. Let's have them eat that. And this is a multiple operation mod where I can do this and select multiple disciples to do something all at the same time. Otherwise you would have to manually do it by yourself. I'm getting a lot of pop-ups from opening up these bosses. Just waiting for my disciples to finish. Okay, I need to check my notes to see how many disciples I was planning to have. Okay, I see I was supposed to have 7 cats and 1 tiger, and right now I have 4 cats. So I need to get 3 cats. Oh, and I also need a turtle. Interesting. Well, I'll focus on that in the next video, since that's mainly with cultivation, but I'll also need to make sure I buy those cages. So like, I know Mount Cullen sells cat cages. Oh, so I need a trading area. So let me just build this trading area right here and use this setting right here to allow me to sell items within this storage area. I need to see how much this cat cage is. Okay, so this is 150. As I mentioned earlier, the scripts are worth a good amount of money, so I can use some scripts to buy those. And then some Spiritwood. Or maybe I'll just... Yeah, I'll hold off on using the Spiritwood, but I'll just use the script for now. Because I just need to buy these cages. Okay, so my disciple has reached the ruins of Taiyi, so now I don't have to worry too much about timber. Or marble. And then I can work on building out my full set. So pretty much once you get through ruins of Taiyi, you can go to target and then click material. As you can see, there's a lot of different materials all throughout the set. Like there's 4,000 marble. And then if you want to get something specific, then you can type in the name to see like what sizes the stacks are. And then besides that, on the left side of the map, they have this building right here which you can use to unlock an item that you need. But you can't open up this item until you get to a golden core disciple, so I kind of just wait. So that will give you the legacy of Taiyi. So I'm gonna pick up some timber stats because I know that I need some of those, and I'm gonna just get the ones that are over 230. And then once I revisit Taiyi, the numbers will change based on the current stacks that are already on the map. So then I'll be able to go back and like get different amount of materials. So I also want the spirit stone block because it's 235. I don't want to pick up this one. I'll wait until the next time I come here. And then iron, that's also good. And then I also want this marble block so I can start making workstations that require blocks. So I have like 600 timber, 400 blocks, and then I have 200 bars, 240 bars. So that's really good in terms of building out my sect. So once that disciple comes back, my guys won't need to make timber anymore. So let me just stop this right here and tell them to just make spirit wood. Okay, I already have 51 spirit wood, so let's start off by making the rest of these. So just for simplicity, I like to do like 10 of each for the most part if I have a lot of spirit wood, but I don't have that much right now. So I'll just make enough so that each disciple will have one, and I have 4 older disciples right now. I did invite some mortals though, so maybe I will need a little bit more, so I'll do like 5. No, yeah, I probably won't have more than 4 people logging. Then I'll just do like 4 of each, and then I'll make more if I need more later. I'm out, so I'll just do it like this then. But I really want those ACS to be created, so So I need to make sure this guy is crafting mile 3. He's foundation training. He probably doesn't know that he has tasks going right now. Let's see, their amber fruit is also about to run out. Okay, they have more. Maybe, let's see. Let's increase the priority on this one. Cancel this. Yeah, sometimes the disciples will like do some weird things, so you just have to keep canceling their actions and make sure that they do what tasks you want them to do. So I saw that guy, he kept foundation training, so then I kept hitting my caps button, which is what I use to interrupt them, or my, yeah, caps button. And now that I have more Spiritwood acids, I can assign these to these guys. And we can like really start chopping some wood, because everyone will have a pretty good chopping speed. Cutting speed 500%, then 1200%, and then this one has 1200%. I would assume that this one has 1200 because they have watching work thought chart. Let's see. I don't see it. Crafting level, wood damage. Okay, there it goes. Watching work. Yeah, so this watching work, which gives 50% work speed, work efficiency, is really good. And then bulls, they already have 50% work efficiency, so from this hardworking trait, so they both are like around the same. But a bull with watching work would be like really powerful. Alright, so let's choose to chop down the rest of the spirit wood on day 3. So I'll chop down the spirit wood because you'll just always need spirit wood as you're playing this game. That's one of the first things I do for my mortals. And I'll create like as many tools as I think I'll need, which I think like 10 of each tool would be like pretty useful without using up too much spirit wood. But if you're on Canyon map, then you're better off taking your spirit wood and trading it for Goldwood and then making Goldwood items. So like right here, Mr. Unity Sect, they sell Goldwood, which is like right under Spiritwood. So like you can buy 1 Goldwood. Like with Spiritwood, you can buy 5 Goldwood, and then this Goldwood can be made into Goldwood timber, which you can use to make the tools that you need. So really, for 1 Spiritwood, you can make like 5 times as much tools as you would with Goldwood. So that's just way more better, way more efficient. And the work speed coefficient is 1.8, and the Spiritwood work speed coefficient is 2, so it's only like 0.2 slower for like way more. So that's also something to be considered. Whereas on Immortal Goldwood will cost 10 instead of 5, so it's a little bit less, but it's still good, if that makes sense. So now that my disciple is back with like all of the building materials, I'll do my blueprint. I'll bring out my blueprint that I have. I think you should always have a blueprint for like where your disciples will live. So this blueprint right here is just a big box, and the box has like 2 separate categories of rooms. So let me first place it down by this water. Okay, the bonfire is in the way. I wanted to clean that up. Also, you don't have to clean it up manually. Like if your disciples are going to build over here, then they'll clean it up automatically, but I like to save them some time. So let me see. So I want to use this house and then this house. Actually, I'll just do 2 of the regular one. Yeah, so I just want these 2. Okay, so if you go to Sect, you can see what your anticipated disciple size should be. So as you can see, the Sect size goes from 12 to 24 to 36. That means I will at least want to be able to house 40 disciples, and then there's also disciples that you can invite from other sects as visitors, and they'll need a room for themselves too. And that also goes for anyone that may visit your sect. So you'll want just like a little bit more. So right now, what you're looking at is 40 rooms, because the way this blueprint is set up is I have it as 5 beds for each row, and then I can create different rooms based on however many I need. So if I had gained another inner disciple, because as you can see, inner disciples, they do not like to be in the same room as outer disciples. So if I made 2 more inner disciples, then I would need to create a room and separate it out for the inner disciple. So I would just make the room like this, following the same structure that I have set up, and then I would just like close off this bit as a room. And then if I got another inner disciple, then I would just do it like this. So now I'm able to like transform this blueprint by adding everything that I might need as I'm playing the game. And I'll just leave it like that, just because I'm too lazy to delete what I just added. So this can house 40 people, so like 2 should be enough, but I think I'll just do 3 just to overkill it, so that I definitely know that I don't have to worry about creating more rooms, or at least the starter structure for the rooms, because these rooms are made out of timber, so they're not following the feng shui rules as perfectly as they could. However, I'm just starting the game off and I'm just trying to get something. But ideally, each disciple will have a room that supports their element, and you could figure that out by going here. So like this guy right here is an earth disciple, so they would prefer to be in like a fire. They would prefer their room to have feng shui that supports their cultivation style. So, or their cultivation element. So I'm gonna do a 3rd building. Okay, I'm missing timber. Never mind. I'll do the 3rd building later. So then I also want to create a set gate, which is the hell gate. The set gate is the room in which your visitors will start off in when they want to like see if they can join your sect or whatnot. However, if you put a room around there and then you ignore the disciples when they come to ask to join your sect and they die, then they'll drop down soul gems based on their mood if it's inside of an ominous room. So for the most part, you want your sect gate to be an ominous room. So let's see, where's my sect gate blueprint? Okay, it's right here. And then besides that, I'll also want a pasture. I just have a blueprint for pasture of size 50, since I just pretty much know how to manage this 50 size room, and that's just like easy to regulate the temperature. So let's go back to that pasture. Where was it? Right here. I'll do it like this. Then besides that, also want an observatory so that we can see the feng shui of the sect. I'll just use spirit stone blocks, and ironically put it by the hell gate. So none of this guy is back here. I think I'll go to Mount Coppertomb, since that's the next closest area, because I do want to invite some more mortals. And now that I have more Spiritwood timber, let me make some more. I think I would like to have like 50 more, so that I can start to create more items. So as you can see, these disciples are starting to build out this structure. And then I have all of these disciples that need a room. So that's the first thing that I want to be doing. So you can prioritize different items or whatever on the map by like clicking on them and then clicking on this priority thing, so you can increase the priority. So for example, if I was to delete the storage area and then create a new storage area, then if I increase the priority of these items, then my disciples will move them over there based on the priority, and priority pretty much manages like everything. So I zoomed in so that I can only click on these walls, and I prioritize them. So now that my disciples are mainly working on this side, and then that will allow them to get that first building done quicker compared to like if everything had the same priority, then they might like start working on this, and working on this other thing, where I really just need them to create that room and these beds for my disciples. So let me also prioritize this bed. That's pretty much how that works. Alright, so my ender disciple is at Mount Coppertomb. They've been there for 12 seconds. I caught that pretty fast, so I won't wait. But yeah, I like to go to Mount Fullmoon and then Mount Coppertomb because it's close, and then Mount Baren, and then sometimes I'll go to Napang village if I need to get food. So right here, you want to interact with this court so that you can get the manual to unlock formations, which is really nice. And then there's iron ore right here, which is also good. And then down here there's dark steel ore, which is what I really like to go for. However, I want to wait until this beast falls asleep so that I can pick it up safely, assuming that I don't trip it. However, the rabbit is pretty slow, so even if they do start attacking you, you can just like run away and then lose aggression on them, just because they will just be like tired of chasing you around. So I'm just gonna wait for them to go to sleep. Okay, now they're sleeping, but I don't think I can avoid them, so I'll just collect this dark steel and just hope that it works. Okay, let's try to change this pathing. Oh, never mind. Okay, so there's like no way for me to get this dark steel. Okay, so now I just run away, and now I'm just spamming cap blocks to like make it so that my disciple is not attacking the bunny anymore. He's just running away. Then you just kind of gotta forget about him. So I'm gonna talk to this. Okay, so it looks like my disciple is. Oh, he's still trying to collect that stuff, which he can't. Okay. Now let's have him talk to this guy. I'm gonna mass out their favorites, and then if you mass out enter disciples favorites and ask them about their secret knowledge, then you can unlock friendship manuals, which cost 1 attainment, and they have pretty good stat boosts. So they're the cheapest, and they'll increase your stats like really nicely. So I just want to get some friendship manuals from these guys, but I don't really want to go past that bunny like that. Let's see if there's a way if I can get this dark steel by like flying this way. Oh, I was able to get through. Nice. So now I'll collect this dark steel ore and then try to get another friendship manual from this guy. Oh, the bunny is going back that way. Okay. Oh, this will increase my artifact crafting speed, so I definitely want to get this and then try to run from this bunny. As you can see, like, it's not that big of a threat. So now I want to go forward with inviting all of these mortals to my sect. Like, basically anytime you come across mortals, you just want to invite them, just until you have enough mortals to either fill up your sect or increase your, or like you can kill them and give them burials to increase your rep. So that's my goal. I need a little bit, like I need a mortal for smithing, I believe, and I need a mortal to do peon work. And I'll definitely need more mortals because I plan on promoting those cats that I have to enter disciples. So I'll need some mortals that are going to replace them when I do promote them. Let me re-talk to him because that was a bug. So as you can see, they will visit my sect. So yeah, I got the 2 manuals by interacting with the corpse. For formations, I got some friendship manuals that could help me out, and then I got some ore from Coppertomb. So overall good haul. And I'm still crafting some more Spiritwood timber. Now that it's dark, I can kind of like look around better to see if there's more Spiritwood. So I would definitely check for Spiritwood, especially at night, just because you can see it glow better. And then this grass that's glowing is spirit grass. And if you chop that down, you can get spirit dew, which can be used to replenish stamina on your disciples. I think that's Spiritwood. It looks like it's glowing. Okay. I don't know how I almost missed those two. But we just keep going. So now I pretty much just wait for all of this to be built because I really just want my sect to be like set in stone. As you can see, some of the humans are starting to visit my sect. The ones that I invited. So if this was built out already, then they would be going here instead of like different scattered areas. Okay, now that my inner disciple is back, I'll go to Mount Baren and collect the stone essence that's there, as well as the cotton. So as you can see, I prioritized the gate, so now my outer disciple made that, and I want this room to be completed quicker, so just going to keep going until I can prioritize just the room. It's all about the zoom in, man. So this room is almost done. I just have to get this door built out. But as you can see, my disciples are working really fast. These guys, they're doing peon work, meaning they're bringing the materials to the walls. However, they can't build the walls because they're not builders, so they're just setting it up so that he can just straight up build, which is nice. And as you can see, this person is building crazy, like super fast. My outer disciple is building because it's a bull, and they just get increased outer and disciple work stats. So this guy has a building speed of 354, which isn't even that much, but they're still going like super quick, which is nice. I'm wondering why they haven't went to that. Probably something weird going on, but it's okay. So I kind of just gonna wait until all of the items have the materials placed inside of them before I start creating some new items or new buildings. As you can see, he's at Mount Baren. He's been there for 71 seconds. And as I said, they start to collect resources at 120 seconds. So I'm just going to wait for 120 seconds. I'm going to use Tic Tac Toe to clear this out. And now that I have blocks, I can create these other workstations. Like, I can create a stove. You want to make your stove and your furnace out of marble because they emit heat. And heat enhances marble, so they will be made out of marble and emit fire element, so they will enhance themselves. So I like to have like 2 stoves because sometimes they burn down, and then I like to have 2 furnaces because smithing is just really slow, so I like to be able to have 2 disciples doing it at the same time. I don't really use a mill because that requires heat. I mean, that requires wheat, not heat. But it will turn wheat into flour, which is a really good way to have some food for your disciples. And then the forge. I don't really use this because I'm on Ancient Battlefield and I can get free weapons. However, I'll just build this anyways. Because if I'm making artifacts and I want to use my forge to be able to craft what weapon I want to craft. And this is pretty much all of the workstations that I would need in terms of doing outer disciple works throughout my whole gameplay, unless I was playing and trying to make money by selling fabrics. And if you're doing that, then you'll need more looms. And then later on, or better yet earlier on, you want to actually make these out of and put them into a room where the door is facing east, because then that will be a workstation, and you want to increase the feng shui of these buildings just to make the output better. However, I just have my stuff out in the open because I'm like, whatever, I just need this to happen. As you can see, my disciple collected some cotton. So now that I collected cotton, I'm going to go into the map, collect some more cotton, and also collect the other resources that are on the map. So Mount Baren, you can just wait for the map to fully reveal. If you have that mod that fully reveals the map, which I would highly recommend, then like just see what materials they have. One thing about Mount Baren is that it has it has 2 pickaxes, which are really important if you're starting with Canyon map, and they're dark steel pickaxes, which has a really good work speed coefficient, as I've shown you guys earlier. So this is really nice to have. And then another thing is, if you're starting off as a earth or a metal cultivator, then you can get this stack of stone essence, which is a cultivation item. So you can use this to make your earth cultivation array. So this amount of stone essence is amazing and super useful. As you can see, this bunny is too slow, so I'm not even worried about it attacking me. And then, since we're also around a lot of mortals, I'm going to invite all of these mortals to my sect. So that I can recruit them and get soul gems from them. And my goal is to kill these mortals once they come into my sect. However, you don't have to worry about killing them because they will create new mortals to fill in their space when they die. And even if you recruit them and you don't kill them, they will still be in the area if they haven't died yet, because they pretty much just send out like clones when you invite them. So these guys that are going to visit my sect are going to be like technically clones, because they'll visit my sect, but I can also go back in here and see that they're still here. But when I kill them, then they won't be here anymore. So if you have like a favorite mortal and then like you just lose them for whatever reason, you can probably get them back. Or I mean, like, you can invite them again. This is weird. Okay. I had to use the mod for that one because it glitched out. Alright, so I invited all of these mortals to my sect, so I'll have them. Then I have these 2 pickaxes to help with mining, even better than my Spiritwood pickaxes. Then I have jade blocks, or jade that I can use to make jade blocks, which are really nice earth element items or materials that I can use to create earth element buildings. And I have stone essence, which I can use for cultivation, or I can sell these for money. Then I have cotton, which I can use to make different fabrics. Okay, this guy is sleeping right now, so I need to turn that off. Okay, it seems like some of them have ate the dried meat, so they're less reliant on the amber fruit. So let me just make sure that everyone I can't believe I misclicked that like 4 times. I'll just give everyone an amber fruit right now. It's day 5, so I'm not too worried about them sleeping. However, if I was playing like more hardcore, then I'm like, okay, what are you guys doing? Okay, I have all of these guys. I know that I want 2 cats, a turtle, a tiger, and some other things. However, I think that it's okay for me to just fill out my sect right now because I don't really want to think about too much about it. And I do need more workers. So let me persuade this guy, this guy. I'll have to rename this guy because their last name is New, which is the same as Bulls, and that's just going to confuse me. So now I have these guys. They can also build now, but I would definitely like to make sure that they don't have a job that they're not good at. But let me first promote them all first. My inner disciple is coming back from the adventure with all the items. And then lastly, I'll have this disciple go to Napang village. just because that's the last close area, and it has like all this food, and I'm running out of food right now. But thankfully I have the amber fruit, so I don't really have to worry about food like that. I just have to find somewhere where I can harvest it. Okay, found it. Then the more you like camp and enter different areas, when you load your map, it has a higher like whenever you like leave your map and then come back to your map, each tree has a low chance to become a Spiritwood tree. So if you're camping and entering, or if you like saving and reloading a lot, then you want to always check back at your map to see if you can find more Spiritwood, because Spiritwood is very important early game. So now that that's done and I have enough Spiritwood timber to make these items, I'll make them. I just make bells and bracelets. I make bracelets because they increase charisma, which is good for sect abbots, agency abbots. Acupuncture needle will increase their healing power. And then besides that, I like to make a vessel out of marble or spirit stone blocks, but the spirit stone blocks is like pretty expensive. So I'll just do marble since they work better with the higher material. So I actually may need to get more marble. But if I wanted to make a vessel out of marble, then I would just go to Ruins of Taiyi and get some more marble. And then I like to make bows so that they can defend themselves. And I'm making all this out of Spiritwood timber, so it can just be a better item. And now they're finishing creating up my pasture. So far my sect is looking really good. I have way more room than disciples I'll need so far. And once I get this food, I'll be pretty much good. So let me start off by now just starting to build out my cultivation room. Okay, I see. I have this blueprint that I made for a cultivation room that I'm using, so I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place it. Okay, yeah, so this blueprint that I have, it has everything out of like spirit stone, marble, and timber. So I really just need to craft some fabrics to be able to complete it. So this shows like what I'm lacking. Then I also need to create some offcut, which is flooring. So I need some spirit stone offcut, some spirit wood offcut. But I would just recommend you keep like a really simplistic cultivation room when you just start. Just because like it's not that necessary. Then I'll need red fabric, which is tailor, yellow fabric, white fabric, and then black fabric. I should just make 10 actually, because it's 170 and it's creating 220 each, so I just need 200. Or I need 180, but I'll just make one extra just to save myself time of thinking about it. Then I already have all of the marble for them walls from Ruins of Taiyi, so it did me pretty good. And then another thing that I like to do is create 15 grades, because so your sect reputation can be good or evil. So if you have over 300 good rep, then your sect will be considered a good sect, and that means evil sects will attack you and be like negative towards you. And also if you have 300 evil sect, then your sect will be an evil sect and good sects will attack you. However, if your sect has over 300 good and over 300 evil, then it will be controversial, and that will keep your sect balanced forever. And yes, it's just like 300. They don't like figure out like your good compared to how much good compared to how much bad you have. So like if you had like 1,000,000 good rep and 300 evil rep, then your sect will still be considered neutral, which is controversial, which is kind of weird. And there's a mod to like change that. However, you do want your sect to be controversial so that you are in good standing with every other sect on the map. So it's a bug that works in your favor. So all of these sects, they have like different alliances, and all of the good sects have this sect gate right here, and all the evil sects have this like purple gate right here. So you can tell like which sect is a good sect and which sect is an evil sect. So if I become like full 300 good and I visit this sect, then they will like attack my disciple while they're collecting resources, which is really annoying. So what I try to do is I try to rush to be able to get 200 good and to be able to get 200 evil. It's pretty easy to get 200 evil once you get soul chant, because you take the souls of mortals and that will give you 20 evil sect for each mortal that you soul chant. However, for 20 to get, or I don't know if it's 20, but it might be 10. However, to get 300 good is pretty hard if you don't know what you're doing, because there's not a lot of good ways to get a good sect rep. So what you want to do is invite a mass amount of mortals to your sect and then kill them and bury them. And when you bury that grave, you'll get 20 good rep. So I'll make 15 and then I'll get to like 280 good rep ideally, and then once I get the soul chant miracle, then I'll get to like 300 bad rep, and then get 300 good rep and 300 bad rep, and then become controversial. So let me actually try to paint that picture. I obviously do not have enough material, so I'll just click on whatever I can make materials out of. Okay, so I have 15 graves, which will get me 300 good rep, because I will be burying 15 bodies. So let's actually go over that. So if you have greater than 300 good, then you're a good sect. If you have greater than 300 evil, then you're an evil sect. However, if you have greater than 300 good and greater than 300 evil, then you're a controversial, or whatever, how you spell it, you're neutral sect. So this is where you want to be. And it's real, like I can get 300 good by burying 15 bodies equals 300 good rep, right? And then if you do like evil deeds are pretty easy to do. Like if you just soul chant bodies, then you can get 300 evil rep easy. So these are the ways I like to do it. However, I don't have soul chant, or maybe I do. So let me check my laws first. Okay, so this law has soul chant, so I can do it either way. However, if I was starting like one of these other laws that didn't have soul chant, then I would get to 280 good rep, so that I wouldn't cross that threshold and becoming a good sect yet. And then I will wait until I have that evil miracle and then just use it on like mortals, meaning like I will use it on like animals, and there's a lot of animals on this map. So then I would rush to 300 evil rep, and then I would get that extra 20 good rep to have 300 in both. So that's my plan. So right now, me creating these burials are just me setting it up so that I can have enough good rep. And then as you can see, the stone essences are back. And then this guy's going to Napang village. So now that I have the stone essences, I can use those to trade these sects, because the stone essences will sell for 5 each. And they gave me a lot, so I just need 30, and I can get this cat cage that I've been wanting. And then I know what else I need. I just need to like figure it out. Let's see. I want a tiger cage for sure. So then 30 of these for that. And then I also said that I wanted a turtle cage. I have a lot of animals to raise right now. So I want 3 cat cages, 2 tiger cages, and 1 turtle cage. Interesting. So I want one more tiger cage, and then I'll want to look around to get one more cat cage eventually. But I also want a bear cage because I want to be able to practice the heaven stealing law too. And bears just have good law match with that law. I guess it doesn't really matter though, but I'll just get them also, just to make sure I cover everything. So yeah, I just bought all these cages. I'll open them up later, and I'll show you guys how to raise Yao Guai with them. So let me also manage the work of these new guys so that they're not messing up tasks by doing them badly. So as you can see, I just go through this list, and then like if they're like horrible at something, I'll just say no, you can't do that. Farming, I wouldn't want anyone besides these two to farm. I don't really mind mining being low because that's kind of rare trait to do anyways. Logging doesn't really have anything to do with, I mean it has to do with like speed, but for the most part I'll just let anyone be a logger because that can also mean cutting down things. I won't let anyone be a crafter, just these two, since they're the best, and then I see what they have allocated, and then I'll just like do whatever. Honestly, I'll do peon, and then I just want one smith. So now that that's set in, chop down these trees. So you can see like the cadence of what I'm doing, like pretty much just making sure that everything is just set, so that I don't really need to do anything after that. So now I'm in Napang village. They've been camping for 33 seconds. I don't really need to get too much food, so I'm just gonna go in instead of waiting for them to collect that extra resources of food, which would be useful, but I don't want to wait the extra 90 seconds. So as soon as you go in, you want to go to the top and then collect all of this meat. There's like big stacks of meat that you can have, and then there's other items they can get, like spirit stone. Just use target to like figure out what's around here. There's also boars, so you can kill them and get more, but I also like to get these hunting bows just in case for my disciples. Either that, or I will get like these friendship manuals from these disciples that are here, these enters, and then of course I'm going to invite every single mortal because I need to get those graves filled. And these mortals will visit your sect in like 4 days, and it also depends on how long you've been inside the location. So they'll visit in like 4 to 6 days, I believe, and then they add how long you've been in the location. So if you like run a game for a long time while you're in a side location, and then you invite a mortal, then you're going to be waiting for a while for that mortal to actually, or a visitor. It doesn't have to be a mortal, it could be like an immortal visitor too. You're just going to be waiting a while for them to come. So ideally, like the first thing you would do is invite disciples, and then you would do stuff in the map. But it's not that detrimental if you do forget about it and you do end up waiting a while. So that's just something to consider. So this room is being built, and now I'm missing this black fabric, so I just need to make sure that my cotton isn't banned. Okay, it's not banned. And I also have to make sure that they're going to do this. So they're waiting for the cotton. That means my peons need to prioritize the cotton, which should make things easier for me. And then from then on, I should be good. Okay, so now they're building out this. So basically I have my rooms. Still waiting for these graves to be built, but I pretty much have that. And then I also have my cultivation room built out. And then I have all of my cages for the animals that I want to raise. So then the last thing that I would do, which I mean ideally it would be the first thing, would be set up the farming areas. So for ancient battlefield, I can just make a field anywhere, And so the uses of the farming areas are to get some really good herbs and medicines that you could also get outside in the world with inner disciples, but you can also have your outer disciples just create them. And this lotus root farm is really good for making sure your outer disciples don't go hungry. So you definitely want to have a field of lotus plants on the water. And then as far as farming, you want wheat for your agencies, or you just want to put like whatever herbs you can on the spirit soil, because the spirit soil is what will give your guys the fastest output, basically. So if you look on the bottom right of my screen, you see that this is spirit soil, is that like kind of darkish green color. But healthy soil and like regular soil are also like pretty good too. So don't count those out, or don't be mad at yourself if you don't have spirit soil. But I just happen to be lucky in this one and have a lot of spirit soil, so I'll just move on with like, this is like pretty patchy though. I'll just move on with like creating like some patches of wheat, since I do want to have some agencies, and I want to make some purity leaves because those are good for alchemy, and some spirit leaves on this soil. And then I also want to make some red ginseng and lingji. Okay, so I have the ginseng creating, I have the lingji creating. And then I'll probably just do the rest wheat. But yeah, that's just me doing like pretty lazily, just to have something out there for my farmers to start working on, because this guy is almost done building everything that I would need them to build, and they're also a really good farmer, so I might switch them out to farming soon. And this guy's coming back with the food. And I have a Yaoguai visitor. Okay, this is the frog. Their movement speed is low, and they have high farming, but I don't really like their movement speed. I guess I'll accept them. Then I'll show you guys how my rep changes once I can get my Ender Disciple back. Okay, so now that my Ender Disciple is back, I can use them to kill these mortals. Which will give this Ender Disciple some condemnation, which will make tribulations harder. However, the tribulation that I'm planning to do, I don't really care about them getting harder because they're still pretty easy. So as you can see, I have all these mortal disciples in here freeloading, so I can just like kill them and then search their body. I'll put my disciple on kill mode just to ensure that they always kill them, and then search their body. And I have this mod right here that will automatically search, and it's listed down. It's called Yaoguai mod, or multiple it's either Yaoguai or multiple operations mod. But this will just automatically, it's called auto operations mod, sorry. Auto operations mod. So this will automatically make my guys like start searching and start butchering people. So as you can see, these are all the mortals that I invited from all over the world for the different locations that I went, and the first thing I do is just kill them when I have the free time, and then I'll bury their bodies. And I really just need 15 so that I can get that rep, get that 300 good rep. But I stopped right before 15, so I need 14 actually. So this guy's about to bury the body, and I'll show you guys what that look like. So you can see my Sect rep is at 200 good because they started burying this body right here, and I just want to get this to 280 good. So that's why I'm doing this, and that's the purpose behind that. So let me just kill all of these disciples and get that task done. Some of them are sleeping. I'm sorry guys, but you didn't make it to become immortals. So my disciples searching them and killing them. Okay, I want this guy to prioritize this though, and they're not, which is annoying, but it's okay because they only have like a little bit more to build right here. But besides that, I'll just keep burying these guys, And then also when I get to 500 rep, I'll start encountering like harder enemies. So that's another reason why I don't want to go straight into high rep. Okay, so I have 3 more guys that I didn't kill, which I mean, that's fine. That is a-okay with me. No, I'm lying. I will not stop until every grave is almost filled. So I have these 2 graves that could be filled up. I'm really just waiting for this outer disciple. Let's see. I'll just wait until everything is built out. Try to make someone. Let's prioritize this person to build. Actually, this guy should be a farmer because they have good farming. But as you can see, I've obviously invited too many mortals, like way more than I can handle. Oh, now he's building different things. Okay. Let's lower the priority of this stuff and make sure that this stuff has increased priority. Okay, it seems like I reduced the priority by mistake or something. Okay, also I have a invader now, which is pretty useful because now I can show you guys how invaders work. So when invaders work, they kind of just sit around and then look around and like kind of figure out who they're going to attack first, and then once you know that, you can kind of just like juke them out. But there's also a bug where invaders will target graves sometimes and just stare at it until they die, which is pretty funny. But I'm assuming this guy will actually target one of my disciples. So you just kind of wait, and then you see it says they're going to Zhu Jian. So I have this guy Zhu Jian who's a mortal disciple. Wow, their stats are pretty good. But because this guy is targeting Zhu Jian, I can have this disciple equip a bow and then just attack this guy while he's attacking Zhu Jian. So like, oh, as you can see, he's still like going for Zhu Jian, even though Zhu Jian is just doing whatever. So now my bull's gonna go and get him while he attacks Zhu Jian. They just kind of laser focus on it. As you can see, like he's not even redirecting to attack my bull, so he's just gonna die. So that's how you can pretty much beat any mortal in the game. And then you will want your outer disciples to also be on kill mode so that they don't spear anyone. Okay, this is almost done now. Oh, they built all the graves. Nice. So let's have these guys get buried. If you go to neutral characters, you can still see the characters of the dead bodies. So I just did that and look for the ones with the low health. Then I see some guys that I'll have to kill later. But this video is approaching like an hour and 15 minutes, so I think I'm gonna end it here. And I think I've covered pretty much everything there is to outer disciple work. So to summarize, the first thing I do is I create enough rooms to have for each disciple to be able to live in throughout my whole gameplay. And for that, that's 40 rooms because I have 36 sec limit. So I'll never have to really worry about creating a room again unless I'm making a room for like a Shindao or a different type of cultivation type. But as far as like bedrooms, they'll always have a bedroom. And then I'll just create whatever crafting stations that I need that I think are like necessary. So this should be all inner disciples. This is a nice little leisure station. So what I'll create is like 2 handcraft stations just because that's what I like. Then I'll create some sewing stations, talisman tables, stoves, furnaces, forges, whatever. So I basically have like one of everything. And if I need to move these into like a better room with better feng shui, then I'll do that later. And then I'll also start working on my cultivation room. I'm on vanilla, so I am actually making a cultivation room, but for the most part I don't create a cultivation room. I'll just like create a cultivation area on the floor. So this also needs a wall in the back. And then I'll just keep sending my disciple to ruins of Taiyi to just be able to collect materials to do all of those things and have all of those materials. So I'll also have my disciples on the amber fruit work schedule until I'm done using amber fruit, and then I have disciples that can actually like make food and stuff like that. So now that I have that, and I also collected food, so then I'll turn on my Sect mill, and that will make my chef disciple create a meal every day for my disciples, which is really nice. So I'll just have this guy as chef for now. And pretty much that's everything with setting up my outer disciple setup. And I'll show you guys how I do like most of my inner disciple work and cultivating and everything like that. But ideally I like to be at this point around like before day 10, and definitely before like around day 20, depending on my disciples. Like obviously I have like really strong disciples and it's on vanilla, whereas if this was on immortal mode, then building speed will be halved. So like getting all of this wouldn't be like reasonable. On immortal mode I would just have like one room and then the Hellgate, the Pasture, and then a lot less of these workstations. But what I have right now is appropriate, and your Sect should at least have this like when you first start the game, so that you can just have everything you need to be able to create whatever material you need. Like for example, I'm missing marble blocks. I just would need to go to like my stone workstation and create marble blocks, and I just realized I don't have a stone workstation, so I'm slacking on that one. So let me also make 4 stone workstations. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have 4 stone workstations, and that's pretty much it. I would need to send my disciple back to the ruins of Taiyi so that they can get these materials, because I don't really need to craft them and I don't want to craft them right now. And I'll just move forward and play some more. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a good amount of information in terms of like what to do with outer disciples. For the most part, if they have like a bad mood or injury, you want to go to like the medicine table or go to the wiki and like see how you can fix the mood, or ask in the Discord chat. But you want to be able to like use the handcraft station to make Goldwood or Spiritwood materials. Use the stone essence to be able to buy different items from Sect if you can, or like just scavenge whatever you can, Spiritwood, whatever you have on a map. And you want to make sure all of your disciples have rooms, and you want to have 15 graves so that you can increase your Sect rep to be around 280 good, or like just under 300 good, so that once you get that 300 evil, you can quickly start burying bodies again to get that 300 good. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and hope you guys enjoyed this video.